All right, guys, let's talk towing. All right, I've towed, I don't know how many, I've probably owned 30 different RVs, all various lengths and sizes. I've owned gas trucks, diesel trucks, light duty, heavy duty, every combination in between. I've owned 20 trucks. And I got to tell you that the things I've learned over the years, the Chevy or any of the heavy duty diesel trucks are the only way to go if you're towing a trailer that weighs more than 6,000 pounds. Right? That's my own personal opinion. I know I'll get tons of disagreement and hate over that, but more than 6,000 pounds, you got to be in a diesel heavy duty as far as I'm concerned. I'm running this trailer here. Dry weight is right around 6,000 pounds, loaded up with water and everything else that I put in it. Put bikes in the back of the truck, a generator I carry, all the fresh water I carry. This holds about 78 gallons of fresh water. I can probably add another 1,500 pounds to this trailer going down the road, so that brings me to what, 7,500 pounds. I wouldn't tow it without towing with a heavy duty diesel. So the reason why isn't just because it's it just pulls more weight. It's because of the safety and the comfort that you get when there's wind out on the road and trucks blowing by you. These big heavy duties, they don't move, right? And gas trucks, you're going up a hill and it's revving the guts out of the engine. These diesels are just purring along nice and quiet, way better fuel economy. There's just so many advantages to it. Under 6,000 pounds, yeah, I can see getting a light duty truck, but even though they're rated to tow a lot more, you'll also notice that I don't run a weight distribution hitch. I have run plenty of weight distribution hitches on a lot of different trailers, but I had a trailer that weighed about, I don't know, it was probably in excess of, I think the dry weight was 7,000, so figure about 8,500, and I still didn't put a weight distribution hitch on, and it was fine. All right, no problem at all. The weight distribution hitch is definitely warranted for the heavier trailers and the heavier tongue weights. This heavy duty is rated for 1,800 pounds on the tongue, and this trailer is 620 pounds, not even close, right? Wind doesn't blow it around, wind doesn't move this truck around. It's just stable as anything. If you look at it, it's pretty level. All right, I don't have any, there's no leveling problems. So the expense and just time messing around with a weight distribution hitch on a trailer like this, I don't even bother. If I was running a light duty truck, a 1,500, absolutely, I'd run weight distribution. Absolutely, no doubt about it. But not on this at all. So anyway, we're gonna get on the road, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about towing with the heavy duty diesel and some of my experiences and why I always will go with the heavy duty diesel with any trailer over 6,000 pounds. I'm behind the wheel of the big diesel. This happens to be a Chevy 2500, but I'm just talking heavy duty diesels in general and towing, right? And so got my RV behind me. In front of me, I've got 445 horsepower and 910 foot-pounds of torque, and there's nothing like driving a truck like this. Behind me, I've got about 8,000 pounds of fun and adventure for Moab. We've got our mountain bikes, we've got a generator, we've got our outdoors RV, and we've got a full tank of water, and we're just cruising along. And the benefits of this diesel, there's a lot of them, but I'm just going to narrow down a few that I think are super important that has really kept me in a diesel as opposed to a light duty truck or even a gas heavy duty, right? Okay, so just talking about some of these benefits of the diesel. So the first thing I want to talk about is just the fact that this motor makes so much power at such a low RPM. That's really important. That's why these things last so long, right? They're not revving so high and just revving the guts out of the motor. So right now I'm doing 75 miles an hour and I'm turning about just over 1600 RPM, right? Whereas in a gas truck I'd probably be 3,000, 4,000 RPM going up a hill or going any kind of speed, and you're consuming more fuel and just wear and tear on the engine, right? So the fact that it just makes all that power so low is a huge benefit. Okay, so one of the other benefits of the big diesel is the ability to brake, right? And when you're towing as much as we're towing, in this case we're towing 8,000 pounds, but you know, you have to be able to slow that down, right? And so these big diesels have a lot of braking capability. This one has an exhaust brake, and that exhaust brake is incredibly effective, right? So going down even the steepest of hills, this 8,000 pound load that I have is nothing. I don't have to touch the brakes, and that just goes a long way on saving your brakes. You know, you're not using your brakes, right? And if you have to stop quick between the engine braking, and these generally have some really big braking capabilities, braking is definitely covered in these trucks. Okay, so another thing that's really incredibly important with these trucks, and I think this gets overlooked a lot, and that is transmission temperature, right? So right now my transmission temperature is 160 degrees Fahrenheit. I rarely, in fact, pushing this on a 90-degree day with a big load over 8,000 pounds, whatever, I've never seen it go over 174 degrees, right? And that's really good. I've seen a lot of these smaller trucks, light duty trucks, going up a grade 220 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit on the transmission fluid. That's just too hot, right? And there's a lot of wear and tear on the transmission like that. I've seen them go into limp mode. People have to pull over and wait for them to cool down. You're just not going to have that sort of problem in a big diesel like this. So again, that's just another benefit. I just think there's just way too many benefits to having a big diesel to overlook it when you're towing any trailer weight over 6,000 pounds. Who wouldn't want a big diesel? I mean, what guy wouldn't want a big diesel? It's a guy thing. This is a big diesel. I'm a guy. That's why I've got a big diesel. You all need a big diesel. And you know where nowhere is? Utah. Utah is, there's nothing out here. I mean, maybe there's nothing in Nevada, maybe there's nothing in Montana, but there's nothing out here in Utah. Utah is a big blank piece of dirt. There's nothing in Utah. I mean, we've been driving for, I don't know how long we've been driving, but there's nothing out here but bugs. All right, for anybody that ever drives through Salt Lake City, Utah, they got the worst highways on the planet. I mean, it's like a roller coaster going through Salt Lake City. I mean, you're hitting bumps and you're weaving through lanes, and it's a nightmare driving through. Nobody should ever have to drive through Salt Lake City. All right, so just kind of wrapping up, I've been talking about why you choose a heavy-duty diesel over, a light-duty diesel, and I'm talking about, anything over, if you're hauling a trailer over 6,000 pounds, that's my general, hey, I'm gonna have a big diesel, I'm gonna have a heavy-duty. But at the end of the day, why would you even bother having a light-duty truck? 1,500 or an F-150, whatever it is, why not just get a big truck? I mean, get over it, right? Like, this thing pulls anything. Even if I'm pulling a dumpster, I'd rather have this than a 1,500 or an F-150 or whatever. Get an F-250, get a 2,500. Guys, come on, step up. We need to be driving big trucks. Let's get rid of all the little trucks in America, and let's just drive big trucks, and let's pull our stuff and go have some fun. So hopefully you guys liked that video, because I'm done with it. That was it. Hopefully you liked it. Give me all those nasty comments. I don't really care, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyway.